Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm making a journal for a lady. Hi Helen, if you're watching. And I think it needs to be a very soft, very gentle type journal. And so I want to make some ephemera for it as I start to get all the bits together. And some journals work from finding pictures, some journals work by a picture I'll see and it's like, wow, yep, I'm going to build it around that. And this one I thought, I need to have a play with some ephemera. So I don't normally put pockets and tuck spots, although there will folios and envelopes and bags and that type of thing. So for me, these are to go on watercolour paper that's already coffee dyed. Yeah, I think I must have spilt something on there. So, yeah, we'll use that in my quest to try and use up some of the stuff that I've got here. So, nice and gentle monochrome. Not monotone, monochrome. That's what I'm thinking of. Now, if you're anything like me, you buy washi tape and you think, yeah, and you buy a set and you end up using, well, I do, one roll of it. So, I thought, right, okay, let's see if we can make pictures out of this. What I'm after, because I'm using watercolour paper because I want the texture. That's I do like the feel of this, the texture of it. And so I thought, okay, let's add to the texture. Let's just build up layers of some of this washi tape I've got that I would never dream of putting on a page, I think is the best way of describing it. This I like, but I want to leave some of the washi tape that showing. So the idea is, I'm thinking I'm going to build up layers with this lot, and then I'm going to really sort of tone down this lot with gesso. So if we just put some of this on, where else? Yeah, maybe in the middle. And then perhaps a bit more music down here. I don't know. They go where they want to go. Now, you see, I quite like that colour scheme already, but some of these middle bits do need. So, what we got? Art Basics, heavy gesso. I do find that sometimes my washi tape I can't cover. Now, I am actually going to leave some of that. I just want to tone it down a touch, just these outside bits. But then some of these middle bits are like, ugh, not nice. Well, no, they're not to my taste. That's wrong. Everybody has their own liking, as I keep being reminded by our young ladies. I am so brain dead. You will have to excuse me. We have meetings upon meetings for our children that we look after. I know it's necessary, and I know, everybody needs this joined up way of thinking. That's everybody's mantra at the moment. It's like, really? Do we have to? More? So the kids are like, yay, Zoe this, Zoe that. And I'm like, I can't think straight. So come up here, hide, and sort of get my brain back together. Right, I'm just going to quickly dry some of this because some of that needs a bit of extra coverage. So bear with me. I find if I just keep wiping it off if I keep putting wet on wet. There we go. So if I just go down the middle of the bits that offend me most. Blend that edge in. So we've still got all the strips. You can still see the lines. I've still got a bit of... So I've got colour, but not the bits I don't want. I think that's the way. That's what I'm trying to think. Yeah, I like that. Very solid. It's going to be very nature themed, calming type journal. So I've got some Hessian. Now it looks very up and down. So if we put a bit of, so if I think something like that, and then I've got some Hessian twine. So if I just sort of lay it out how I think it should look. You know, sometimes you get the most satisfaction from just messing around with different feels on a page. Makes me sound weird. Oh no, I probably am. Yep, I'm liking that. That goes with the whole tone of it. I'm just still desperately trying to use up these bits of fabric. Oh, actually, that goes quite nicely there. Oh, just started hammering down again. Yep, I like that. Right. Okay, so that's the general composition. Oh, it's going to get loud. I want to add a bit of colour, just a little bit of colour, introduce it back in. So I'm thinking that's a very pale green on there, on the bottom of the leaf. Okay, right. So now I know where I want my bits. I'm just going to dry this off for a moment. Okay, we need to add a bit of colour. Right, I've got the ubiquitous vintage photo. I've also got walnut stain. What we got here? Oh, I like this one, forest moss. This one I'm tending to use more and more because as it dries it goes like a kind of greeny brown, which really, I think, adds to the picture. Right, let's get rid of that. Can you see? Yes, you can see. Right, let's just... Ooh, I love the contrast between where you've got gesso and where I haven't got gesso. That is working for me. And let's face it, if you don't like it, you can wipe it back. Okay, now I'm thinking a bit of green. Tell you what would be nice, and what I've really been, my little trusty travel box of, I decided to restrict myself to these. So I've got a big set and then I've got this set. And I'm thinking if I just use my little set and just put the colours in there that I like, then I'll be forced to use them. Right, what I am going to do is just go around the edges with just a touch. Actually, that colour is much better than the vintage photo. Okay. See, knew I should have practiced first. Let's just give it a frame. I wonder if I can just wipe this back a bit. Ah, you see, the beauty of gesso. Just one. Oh, actually, that looks pretty good. Oh, I'm liking that. Yeah, okay, I'll go with that. So where it's been gessoed, it's wiping off. And where it hasn't been gessoed, you get the nice sort of lines effect. Very good. Okay, I'm quite proud of myself if I do say so. Now I'm thinking, sorry, I really should be more organised. Right, paintbrush, huge paintbrush. Let's get a bit of dark green. Oh, blimey, that is proper dark green. As you can see, I'm not that fussed about keeping these particularly clean. Don't need much. I'll put a bit of black in there. Oh, yes. There we go. Just dab it off. I just want some. I don't even know if this will take on top of gesso. It may not. All I want is a kind of wash effect. Let's clean my brush. I love the colours green and brown together. They just work so well. I'm not very nice to my paintbrushes, which is why I only buy cheap ones. Just a bit more colour. Maybe take it off the edges a bit. And then balance it up here. So it will lead your eye all the way through. Oh, I'm liking that. Yep. It probably looks awful on the screen, but I have to say that works for me. Right. Stick that to one side. It's going to get noisy. Right, if I hold that up, it's just got a very faint tinge of green on there. That's good. Right, we'll ignore the phone that's going off in the corner. Now, where were my bits? So, oops. I want a regular, irregular shape. I like, does that even make sense? Yeah, possibly. And then that bit to go there, and then I'm thinking perhaps, oops, a flower or butterflies. I'm just going to go and grab my die cut boxing, and I'll be right back. Right, I'm back. It's actually 24 hours later from the first time, so if this is in the wrong place, I apologise, that's what it was. These things happen. I was actually looking at this and I'm thinking it's missing something. So I've got a little picture here, which I think I am going to cut up and put in the middle. I just want, I think, this little square. Now if I can get some of the flowers with it, that would be good. Yeah, let's keep the iris. Oops. Let's make it equal. It just looked a bit, I don't know, a bit too, Actually that could work quite well, except that bit sticking up the top. The iris is gonna have to go. Yeah, that's gonna look better. Right, I am gonna edge this with a walnut stone. With everything being so monochrome, it needs to, everything needs its own little edge, I think, just to make it stand out. And then I think it can go somewhere like that in the middle. What I am going to do as well is I'm going to stamp. I got, if I can find them, I've got some new stamps. Blooming Garden by Penny Black. And I was thinking that this big one, if I can get into them, will go nicely up the side. Let's get rid of the packaging. Do you know what? That's not going to work. It's on the wrong side. So if I swap things around, I want the little one pointing in. Ooh. Oh yes, I like that. Okay, so choices. I get it reasonably lined up. Right, because it's new, let's give it a bit of a wipe. Sorry if I'm making the camera shudder. I am so gonna have to get a new stand, I think, for my camera. What have we got? Do you know what? I think that might look nice if it's embossed. Right, somebody asked me what the ink was. It is, if I can bring it up, Versamark watermark stamp pad. I've never used it as a watermark. It is, if I explain, I know you probably all know this, it is very sticky ink. Quite clear, although it will dry with a slight outline if you do it. Let me just get a piece of paper. Right, roughly where do I want it? So about down there. It's a very clear, very sticky, slow drying ink that you can put embossing powder onto. How's that taken? Yes, the outline just. Right, what have we got? I like this one. Liquid Platinum and Ranger. I knew there'd be a name on there somewhere if I looked hard enough. Right, because I make such a mess, I have a trusty little tub that catches all my bits. Oh, that's stamped really nice. Oh, I like those. I always sound so surprised when it works. It's like, oh, that really does work. Right, before I... Now the magic bit. Oh no, that adds real nice, and I love the colour of that. Let's get rid of this. Okay. So that bit was going to go. Ooh. Do we want it all the way across? Do we want it part of the way across? Let's go part of the way. Let's get rid of some of these very long bits. Yep. So that can go there. It just covers a little bit of the embossing, but nothing much. My trusty art glitter glue, which no, doesn't contain glitter, but It starts to get towards the end of the tube. It does sort of go, nah, don't want to play. It really does a kid on me. Okay, we are getting good to go. Ooh, I forgot. I picked up some lint, cheesecloth lint. I was wondering, let's just pull that up before it. I'm thinking just about a bit of interest, a bit of dimension, and I remember, I'm getting in the right mess here. Me and glue guns, not a good combination. Dangerous. Okay, let's just screw and pull it up. Yep. So once I've got the initial shape on there, I love texture. When I was a kid, I can remember sitting there. My nan had a velvet shawl stole. I think it was a shawl. And I used to sit there we go and visit her, and I'd go in the wardrobe and just pull it out to sit and stroke it. I must have been such a weird child. I've come to this conclusion. I know, sad. Right, now I don't want that in flat, but I do want maybe a bit more. So that one needs to come. Those need to come over, and that big one needs to go at the back. Maybe. Yep, quite like that. Okay. Twice in one day. It's getting dangerous around here. That end and that bit. Okay, we've got an end secured. All is good with the world. Maybe not. That moved. Right, come on, you can do it. That's better. I have to admit, I'm not a fan of glue guns. I always manage to hurt myself like this, get things stuck. It's like, sometimes it is just the only way to do something. Right, I actually want those bits. So if that bit goes, sorry if my hands are in the way. Imperfectly perfect circle. Right, let's give that enough to grab onto. This new glue gun I've got, it's hot. Yep, I like that. Right, I've got some of my butterflies that I've stamped out, because everything I've got in the way of butterflies that I've got cut is so bright. Right, I'm gonna shut up, speed this bit up, and I'll see you when I've finished. Right, there we go. 2 butterflies, fussy cut. Now I am going to colour these in. And I was just debating as I was doing it, where am I going to put, what colours are they going to go in? Let's get rid of all my rubbish. Colours. Okay. Thinking about it, I think what I should have done was left them on the sheet of paper. I don't know. We have lots of scraps around here. Right, I'm thinking it's gonna have to be, where's my water gun? These are like a pinky yellow, aren't they? So I have no idea what red this is before somebody asks me. Sorry. I can have a look if somebody's interested. I only want a very sort of pale wash, but I'm not a huge fan of pink. So let's just make it maybe a little bit darker. Let's have a look. So what? I can always cut more off after. Right, so if we, this by the way is, I stamped it in archival ink, so it won't run. If you did this in in distress inks, actually that might give a nice sort of finish. I'm just dabbing the edges just to get a bit more tone when it dries, because watercolours are good like that. What happens if we just... Ooh. It looks a bit more funky. Great thing about watercolours is, so I found out, with a wet brush you can just go in and actually take it off. I've come to the conclusion I'm not very good at actually drawing real things. I get too lost in the detail, but I quite enjoy doing these pre-done ones, shall we say. So if I move that, and that one goes there. And then a bit more colour, maybe a bit more yellow this one. Although that is much too yellow. Oh yeah, mustard colour, that'll do. I have lost my fear of playing with colours, because at the end of the day, if it doesn't work, you just wipe it off and start again. I want a little less in the centre. That's good. Have a bit of darker brown on the edges. Yep. If I let that just run a bit. Oops. My watercolour brushes hate me. You're doing what with me? You've put gesso on with a watercolour brush. Yeah, I know. It happens. What's the point in having supplies if you're too scared to use them? That sounds really silly, but it's not. I have been and sort of bought things and then thought, oh, I don't know, I can't use it, you know, what if, and it's like, do you know what, if it's stuck in the cupboard, you might as well use it and get it wrong than not use it at all. That is my own personal opinion. But unless you actually have a play, I never know. This is why I start messing around with all my stuff, and you come up with so many things and you think, wow. Hence I come on here and I go, did you know if you did this happens? Which I think is great. So, right, let's get rid of that for a minute. So I'm thinking something there, maybe something up there, pointing to that corner. Yeah, there, like that. Does need a bit of something else. What do we suggest? What have we got? Actually, maybe a bit more the washi tape. It needs something up here. It looks a bit disjointed. That's the word I'm looking for. Okay, let's just tear that bit off. Yep. Okay, that gives it a bit of something else. Alright, let's glue these on. They dry, sort of. Well, I'm going back in with the glue gun. That one. And then that one. Okay. And then all I need to finish off are some words. Right. So we are going back to my tiny tin holes. What are these called? Clip-in stickers. Tiny. Oh, do you know? I like that one. She dreamed beautiful dreams. Ooh, where's this going? There. So there we have a monochrome, almost monochrome themed. For me, this will go on a page, so, or a bag, but a brilliant way of doing covers, because I've long since discovered when I'm doing this, I really need to do, when I'm doing my covers, I really need to do them separately, because I get them wrong, and then you've wasted a whole, I've forgotten to do this, you've wasted a whole, for me, hardcover, because they are just so difficult to take apart. So I very quickly learned to do them separately. I suppose it becomes a bit of a book plate. I know I saw Andrea from Artie Mays almost like a challenge, which I thought was brilliant, because it is so much easier doing it like this. I like that. A little bit of darkness up in the corner. Authentic tea. And yeah, I've no doubt it is tea rather than coffee. I like that. looks a bit unbalanced still, so let's give it just a bit of balance. There we go, that's it. 2 corners balanced, the 2 butterflies are looking at their respective corners, and we've got a bit of going across and a bit going down, and I am really pleased with that. Right, so that is one part, a bit of ephemera for this new journal. I hope you've enjoyed watching. I hope it's given you some ideas as well. I have a fair few more to do. So I keep doing bits and pieces of everything else. Right, I will speak to you all later. You take care now. Bye.